pretty much like from I would say the moment I learned of the Iowas, like they immediately became like one of my favorite ships ever. So like that and then plus after actually being on it, it was April of last year when me and my brother went on a tour of it. So learning about Iowa and having the opportunity to be on Iowa, like pretty much like gave me the inspiration to want to build a model of Iowa, because of those two reasons.
Welcome back to Scuttlebutt, the official podcast of the National Museum of the Surface Navy in affiliation with the Surface Navy Association's Battleship Iowa chapter. We are coming to you from the Associated Foundation's Training Center aboard Battleship Iowa. I am Marianne Fengler. I run communications for the ship. I am also the producer of the podcast, and I have some friends with me today. I have one of the usual suspects over here. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm your friend.
I hope so.
Okay. Well, I got your executive vice president, chief operating officer, chief engineer, chief cook, bottle washer, everything. As you say, all the
I've
things.
never seen you wash a bottle.
Well, it's in my repertoire, so it's all good.
And with us remotely, we have my partner in crime in comms, Ron Ploof. You want to give yourself a little introduction there?
Sure. I'm Ron Ploof. I am a volunteer on the Battleship, and I work for Marianne.
I get all the good stuff. And we have us joining us all the way from the Philadelphia area. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Aydin Diaby. I'm a student at the Delaware County Community College for the Welding Certificate program. And I have built a large model of the USS Iowa out of foam board, popsicle sticks, and cardstock paper. And luckily, I was able to show these people like my model, and so that pretty much like brought us together because they had
And that's what we're here to talk about.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start unless you
Do it.
hit me over the head.
Do it.
Aiden, I grew up literally building models. My dad was a battleship sailor. I was fascinated by vessels. The first plastic models, because that was the most popular medium back then. So just hearing you reminds me of my youth and everything that I was doing. And for me, it's cool inspiration. I learned how to weld as you did, or you are now. I was not certified, but boy, I've run a lot of rod. And working in the maritime industry, it's just a great skill set to have. So I don't know, I'm just kind of gushing, thinking about all the cool things that I've done and the cool things that are ahead of you.
Yep.
So what got you started?
Honestly, because like for me, what got me into welding is that I wanted to choose a career like that didn't involve a lot of sitting, because yeah, so pretty much
Choice.
I wanted to find a career that involved a lot of like being on my feet, standing up, because like I feel like in terms of like a working environment, like I think that's the best working environment for me, because I feel like having to sit down all the time would kind of be like super boring. So I thought that welding would be the complete opposite of that, and so far it is, and I do not regret it. And I'm like fully ready to embrace my career as a welder, because I'm going to graduate in December of this year, and I'm looking forward to that.
It's
So I
awesome.
have a question.
Go ahead.
If you were looking for something that doesn't involve a lot of sitting and you're building models, this sounds like a lot of sitting to me.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like because I feel like a hobby and like working are two different things though.
No,
Because
Yes.
I feel like
good.
when it comes to like a personal hobby like building the ships that I do, I don't mind all the sitting because it's simply a hobby. But so when it comes to to actually like working in the field, I prefer to do the opposite and be on my feet, which is why I think welding is the perfect choice for me in terms of that category.
That's
And so go
awesome.
back to what Mike said. What started you in the modeling?
Oh, honestly, like from because I would say just building things with foam board and popsicle sticks and everything. Because originally I started building with tanks like years ago, back in like 2018, and so like after I learned about the Iowas and other ships, I started to just like I started to want to that gave me a strong desire to want to build like ships. and everything. So I started to do that, and then that eventually led me into building the Iowa and some other ships that I'm building now. And yeah, so pretty much like everything started from when I started building tanks like way back in 2018, and then later on like after the pandemic in like in early 2020, I started to build ships, and then like that just continued all the way until the present day.
Cool.
And by the way, there are opportunities to actually build ships in our world, and I'll get to that in a minute. Uh, I was a product, as you currently are, or becoming a product of, that early technical training. Back in the high schools that I grew up in, at least the one, we had those machine shops and wood shops and things like that. A lot of that's disappeared over the years, and it's been unfortunate because the opportunity that's out there, and in particular in the welding world, they're huge. Welders are making very, very good money in any number of industries. And then just recently, it's a little over a year now, we were down at Litton shipbuilding in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and they are desperate for welders, desperate. They want people down there. They have the largest backlog of naval ships to build anywhere in the country. I think probably in the 30 to $35 billion range. And they're literally looking at bringing people in from out of the country because there's just not enough people to work. So I think stepping into welding is wonderful. There's a lot of other arenas besides shipbuilding, but trust me, you could very well segue from building things in cardstock and foam board up to real steel, and the opportunity is very real.
Cool.
Yeah. I know people down there if you need the introduction. So get your certifications. I mean, certainly they would have structural requirements. There's also high pressure vessel, welding certifications. There's a lot of things that would be necessary down there. They actually have an American Welding Society level welding engineer position too down there. So if you wanted to go even higher in your education, I'm not exactly sure where to go, but I know that those certifications exist. You can be the person who actually helps write those specs,
Okay.
specifications. So, and in fact, I will even say, and forgive me, I'll stop here in a minute, but we weld literally pretty much every day here. We are always
Cool.
doing something. We're doing clad welding right now with a particular welding specification down on armor plate on the side of the ship. Kind of a unique
Okay.
experience for us, but there's a lot of need for this type of technical expertise, and I think it's a great path.
Cool. So where was that located again? Like the place where you said they weld every day?
Well, for us here, we're welding on the hull an awful lot, but we also do other things throughout the ship. The ship is all steel, of course.
Okay.
The doors are aluminum, and some of the interior doors and certain things are a few other metals. But the hull is always in need of something. We seal weld rivets down at our wind and water line. We do clad welding. We're always doing repairs, deck repairs. Just this last week or so, Chief Moser had to resolve some deck drain issues. There's just a ton of things to do. A steel vessel in salt water is always going to have a problem, and it certainly keeps us busy. So we're always repairing something, and sometimes we just rebuild things. Just today, they lifted a new davit for lowering projectiles up on top of turret 3 that was all fabricated by our certified welder down inside the welding shop. On a ship of this size, you have a welding shop. And in the
Oh,
Navy, which might be another career opportunity for you, they actually have a designation called hull technician, or HT, and those are the welders of the Navy. So there's a ton of opportunity here.
And the other one you were talking about in Pascagoula was what?
That's the Litton shipbuilding. I don't know what entry program they have, but I know for a fact, having talked to the executive vice president down there in our visit, they want people. Now Pascagoula, you'd have to move down there or near there to be able to work there, but they have a tremendous amount of construction going on. They're building destroyers and small aircraft carriers and LPDs. There's a bunch of designations from the Navy. They have some Coast Guard vessels that they're working on too. So again, a lot of opportunity there. I don't want to hog the conversation here. I'm just, I'll just keep talking, Ron. You got to interrupt me once in a while, Ron. I just want to talk
I know.
about tacos.
I
and
do it all
green
the time,
onion.
right?
Yeah. So,
So, Aydin, you had
yeah.
mentioned that you started with tanks, but I think your first ship was at the Russian Project 12411.
Oh yeah, yep.
So why did you switch from tanks to ships?
It was more of just like a natural like process because like eventually I wanted to start building other things and like I thought ships would be like I thought ships would be like a one of those things. So I happened to just choose ships at that time, and I've really enjoyed it ever since.
How do you get drawn to such a well? To me, this ship is obscure, but maybe it's not. Mike, have you ever heard of this project 12411?
I've never heard of it at all. I'm not. Is it an actual vessel or is it a proposed vessel?
So from what I know, it's a Soviet era missile boat, and I believe they have some of her ships still in commission. But like as of today, it's a museum. It's a museum ship in Russia.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I just haven't seen it. The we're part of the Historic Naval Ships Association, but there are many vessels across the world which are not a part of our group,
Okay, okay.
our trade group, if you will. So I wouldn't be aware of all of them over there. There's a Russian battleship of some level, or at least a heavy cruiser that is still somewhere in
Oh, the Kirov. I think you mean
well, the
the
Kirov was a battle cruiser, but there was another older one I think that's somewhere still in the. It's not the Potemkin, but it's something along those lines. So we'll have to look it up. Cool stuff.
Yep.
And there's our.
So you went from Project 12411, and then you did a PT 109. I've heard of that one
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And then you did our ship, the
Yep.
Iowa. How did that happen?
Pretty much like from I would say the moment I learned of the Iowas, like they immediately became like one of my favorite ships ever. So like that and then plus after actually being on it, it was April of last year when me and my brother went on a tour of it. So learning about Iowa and having the opportunity to be on Iowa, like pretty much like gave me the inspiration to want to build a model of Iowa, because of those two reasons.
Yeah,
Again, we've got some pictures of it, and I will cut those into the video version of this. And you got everything.
Yes.
You talked to us about the materials you built it in and everything, but I looked at them and was just blown away because all the little details, you've got all of it in there.
Yep.
there's somebody over in Europe. We've been getting emails from who is welding a large
Oh,
model
yeah.
of the
Mhm.
Iowa. Just amazing. You might look at that. His eyes lit up. We can share that information, but he's doing an amazing job. It looked kind of miserable. He was outside. There's like a little cover and there's snow around him. So,
Oh,
a little bit different animal than working inside your shop. But, there's amazing things you can do with welding, that really is fun. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get into trains. It'll happen.
Oh God, no.
I have a train problem too.
Well,
Just
Uh,
for tacos.
I didn't talk to tell everyone what you made the Iowa out of and some of the process you made to construct it because it's pretty amazing.
So primarily, it was from like regular paper. So if I had to list everything like in like a list, I would say it was like normal print paper, cardstock paper, popsicle sticks, foam board, and like your everyday newspaper, along with Elmer's glue, hot glue, and yeah. So like those like the six primary like things I've used to pretty much construct the entire ship. And I pretty much like as you saw in the pictures I sent you, like everything started from just like simple print paper. So to start building it, I had to start by drawing the top of the ship, like its overall shape. Because for me, I feel like that would like be like the only like logical way to start building that ship, just because if I tried to start on the bottom, it would be more confusing and challenging. So I feel like by drawing the top of it, I was able to figure out the bottom of it by drawing a separate like copy of that, and then I drew the bottom of it on top of that copy of the top. Like it's kind of hard to explain, but it's shown in the pictures that I send you. And so after doing that, after tracing the shape of it from the well, no, because I traced part of the shape off of the computer I'm using now, and then eventually it got so big I had to put it on the TV, as you saw in the photos. And then from the TV, I was able to trace the rest of the details from what I did on the print paper uh, onto the big screen. And after doing that, I was able to pretty much cut out the entire like shape of the Iowa. And so after cutting out the shape of both the top and the bottom from the print paper, I was able to then I was able to put those exact shapes on the foam board. And then after doing that, I was able to start constructing like the main skeleton of the ship. and then pretty much as you saw in the pictures, I was able to make these like makeshift beams of like foam board to support the structural integrity of the ship and everything. And then like following that, I was able to put cardstock paper all over the sides to get the shape of the Iowa like that you see on the side from its bull nose to the stern and everything and all those shapes. And then from there, I was able to put that newspaper all over the ship from the bottom, the top, and pretty much all around it. And like the way I perfectly stuck it on there was I used like a whole lot of Elmer's glue, and I kind of like rubbed it like yeah, I used a whole bunch of Elmer's glue, and I pretty much like rubbed it all over the newspaper, and it was able to like solidify in a way that would perfectly resemble the shape of Iowa in a way that wouldn't look too like sloppy, but because by pretty much by doing that, it made it look perfectly like the shape, and it also because Elmer's glue like it gets hard when it dries. It also made it very I noticed it made the shape stronger when it all solidified and dried because of the amount of Elmer's glue I put all over it for it to dry. And then after that, as you saw in the photos, I then started to make the base of it oh no, not the base, the wooden frame thing that holds the entire ship. So I mostly went to Lowe's and brought like some wood. I don't remember the dimensions that were on that wood, but I do know it was like it wa- it was like those thin pieces of like wood that you would buy from Lowe's. And so I used that for most of like that wooden frame, and then I was able to hot glue like the four corners of the frames to make the frame as it was in the pictures you saw. And then after that, after buying the wood, I then brought those. I'm not sure if you've seen those wood corner pieces like that are in your house, but I was able to use those as like that part that was sloped down on the bottom portion of the wood frame, like to get that really cool design that you see on the bottom of the wood frame in the pictures. And then after that, I painted it with a gloss brown spray paint to make it like glossy and shiny in a way that resembles like stain that you put on wood. And then after doing that, for the water effect on the wooden frame, I was able to use both like regular cardboard and cooking foil. So, oh yeah, and also like there was this silver tape that my dad had in the basement because he's a HVAC
Aluminum
technician.
tape, I know, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, they use that in Hollywood when they're building models.
Oh, good, cool, good. Yeah. So,
You're actually
uh,
describing a bunch of processes that people do, and you just figured it out on your own.
yeah, yeah.
That's what's cool.
Yeah, I
Thank
find
you.
that amazing.
Yeah.
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 That I'm having this name pop into my head. It's called MacGyver, and
Oh,
I don't know if Aiden knows who that is, but it was a
Yeah, it
television show.
predates.
Yeah, it was a television show.
Yeah.
The guy's name was MacGyver. He was always in trouble, and he would always figure out a way to get out of trouble by inventing whatever was around him to solve the problem.
oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, you're a modern day MacGyver.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you know, there's you've also described, I think, to some degree that it sounds like you didn't really start with drawings. Is that
No, no. So
yeah, pictures?
basically yeah, yeah. So the way I started Iowa was I basically like looked at like blueprints that were online. Like so I pretty much just Googled blueprints, and to keep everything organized in like a consistent manner, I just put everything into Google Slides, and like I've set it up in a way to where like pretty much I set it up in a convenient way to where like part of the picture in the Google Slides was strictly the bow, the middle part, and then the stern. And so like by doing a combination of those things, like it made it a lot easier for me to trace the shapes of it of the shape of the ship off of the screen. And yeah, so pretty much I would say the primary way I started it was basically like it was pictures of its blueprint that I had put into Google Slides from Google.
Again, the tracing it off the screen is genius.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
seriously, it's such a good idea.
No, and,
How
Thank you.
how long is the model?
It is. I actually wrote down its dimensions. Oh, let me see, because
I have 4 feet 10 inches. Is that right?
oh yeah, 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 because
Ron's too quick for
um,
all of us.
yeah. So it was 4 feet 10 inches. I think that was the length, right?
Yeah.
Because
cool.
oh okay, yeah, that was the length.
That's a big
And
model.
That's a good size model.
yeah.
And how long did the entire process take?
So I started it on April 18th of last year, and it
Oh
was
wow.
finished on November 8th of 2023. So about 7 months.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Model making is still part of our world. We have a great volunteer, John Goodson.
Yes.
Shout out to John, who works for Industrial Light and Magic. He's been a career-long model maker. What's interesting in the Hollywood world, you might just want to figure this out, but a lot of the computer graphics or CG is really where everybody has thought to go. But there's literally still building models for the Star Wars films and the Mandalorian and things like that. There's actually a ton of work out there still. It's just kind of obscure, but it's still there. And in fact, John is working on restoring all of the Star Wars models that George Lucas had for the museum in LA. And he's also worked at the Smithsonian on the original USS Enterprise from Star Trek. And so modeling is around us all the time. So I think it's a fascinating thing. I love it still. In fact, I just procured some models for myself that I wanted to from long ago. And, I don't think it's something I'll ever give up. I just love it.
And it sounds like you've got some areas in your life that are really going to lead you to good places and kind of fun stuff to do.
And you're 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 19.
I was not doing that at
my nose
19.
or something. I don't know.
I was in ice rinks. That's all I was doing at 19.
But it's fun. You have a bright future in front of you. Just you could go in a bunch of different directions. Welding is a great opportunity.
Yes.
I've heard maybe not where you want to go, but some of those welders up in some of the industries that I've heard about are in the well over $100,000 a year range. In fact, some of them go even higher. So. And if you get into really specialized welding, then it's a pretty amazing world to be in. So
so keep going.
Yeah, don't stop. And I get to weld once in a while still, and certainly even in my hobby, I do some welding. So it's just fun, and I just love anybody who's kind of from my roots, which is really the technical schools, if you will. I have a mechanical engineering degree, and I've held a license in the Coast Guard, but I started where you're at. I really did, and just keep it up. Don't stop.
Nope. Yeah. Absolutely. No. Like it's like so far it's definitely gonna be a lifetime hobby.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and yeah. Speaking of that, I've actually I've started like building like more. So right now I'm starting it's like a mini ship series. Like I'm pretty much building a bunch of like random small ships like at this moment. So everything from the Prince Eugen, the Tirpitz, the
Love it.
like a miniature Iowa, the Yamato Musashi. What else?
Wow.
Because there's about 15 of them, and then the Japanese modern Congo destroyer, the Belfast, HMS Hood,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah,
Deutschland class.
you're just like us.
Wow.
By the way, not
I was about to say this.
200 feet.
That's just right over there.
Yeah, 200 feet behind us is what we're very certain is actually a pair of binoculars from the Prince Eugen.
Oh my God! Oh,
One of the big eyes,
Yeah,
the big
eyes,
deck
yeah.
binoculars. Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's
Like,
marked as Prince Eugen.
oh, because like I think she was destroyed in a nuclear blast during the.
She was damaged, and then she was towed to the Kwajalein
Kwajalein,
Atoll. I've actually been within 10 miles of her. I've been to Kwajalein, or Kwaj as they call it. And then she rolled over and sank from the damage that she sustained. So kind of sad. She's a beautiful ship. I mean, the Hipper class cruisers were very cool. But,
Yeah.
you have a lot of. He's so much like me. It's just,
Well, you need to
pretty scary.
you need to stay in touch and keep sending us pictures when you finish stuff because we want to see.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Mini
yeah.
Mike.
Pretty much. Oh no.
I'm sorry, he's in trouble now. Get time. Yeah, it's fun. I'd love to, next time you're out here, if you get out, certainly we can show you the model shop, and there's a ton of ship models on here and stuff to do. You just keep progressing. I started elevating my game and modeling, and next thing you know, I'm scratch building, just like you. So it's what you do.
And out of curiosity, where like is this room over in LA?
The room, the
podcast room, like
it's on the second deck up in the forward end of the ship. So
it's in the ship.
Pretty much underneath where you see the big guns at the front end of the ship. We're just forward of turret 1.
Yes, turret 1.
Yes,
turret 2 is right there.
Turret 2. We're sort of in between the turrets right now.
On the port side, frame 62.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I got one last question before I let you go.
Yep.
Where are you going at the end of April?
End of April.
Yes.
Oh, to the New Jersey dry dock. So like yeah, they started to sell tours as of today, and I believe they're gonna go. I believe they're gonna last from April 6th all the way to May. So me and my older brother are gonna go to dry dock sometime between that duration of time. But yeah, so at some point, probably and most likely near the end of May, we're going to be going to the dry dock to see the Battleship New Jersey in dry dock because she hasn't been in dry dock since 1991, so it's been 33 years. So it's a lifetime opportunity for the both of us to see the bottom of the ship and everything and the propellers and I believe it's only like a half an hour long. But regardless, it is something me and my older brother look forward to that we cannot wait to attend to.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
super excited for you to do that. Send us some pictures when you go.
We'll be out there too.
Oh
We're
yeah,
going to take a
of
look.
course.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Aydin, thank you so much. And Ron, thanks for jumping into. Absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast. Keep building things. Keep building
Of
things
course.
and stay in touch and
You
let us
too.
know.
Yeah.
As everyone
Absolutely.
else, thank you so much for tuning in and watching our Scuttlebutt and hanging out with us here on Scuttlebutt. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, topics you'd like us to cover, kind gestures, and anything else, drop them in the comments or email us at podcast@labattleship.com. That is podcast@labattleship.com. And thank you. We will see you next time on Scuttlebutt.